we should not end this, Jake, without paying some tribute to Don Maynard, because for
Yes.
Jets fans of a certain age who listen to this will remember him and what he did, and Jets fans who are younger and maybe have just heard the name, go to Pro Football Reference tonight and look at those stats, because
Did you ever talk to Don?
I
Have you ever
did.
had any?
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
great guy to talk to. He was funny, really good storyteller, and just and when you saw him, he's a tiny guy, but like the numbers he put up in that era are just crazy, because like they're playing 14 games. It's not an why, and if you can watch some of the NFL films, like some of the hits he takes as he's catching the ball would be 15-yard penalties in a heartbeat. Now they weren't calling penalties back then for hitting receivers. There was no such thing as a defenseless receiver in 1966, and he was interfered with, and the catch he made against the Raiders in the championship game before the Super Bowl is one of the great all-time plays in Jets history. And the Jets don't have a lot of legends, true legends here, and he's one. And so I think everyone who got to watch him, I don't know how many older listeners we have, Jake, but they have a lot of good memories of Don Maynard. I think he was the
At the time.
first player to sign with the New York
He
Titans, if I'm
was.
correct.
Yep.
Yeah,
First player to
and
sign with the Titans.
when young Cameron over there gives me trivia questions, a lot of times I'll guess Don Maynard if it's a receiver question, just because that's a pretty safe guess, because he is at the top of the record book for like everything in terms of receivers. And I remember having a debate in 2015 with a Jets player who was saying Brandon Marshall is the greatest receiver of all time for the Jets.
Oh
And
god.
I'm like, you ever heard of Don Maynard? And and he was kind of like, oh, that doesn't count the '60s. I'm like, go look at the numbers. So I'm like, that counts. I was like,
Jets don't have
Raiders
a
got a long way
Super
to go.
Bowl without him. So I
Yeah,
mean, what do you mean it doesn't count? The Jets
yeah,
are even more of a laughing stock if it's not for him and his two touchdowns in the AFL Championship game over Oakland. So, they are nothing without him. Yeah, if you look back at stats, 1960, 1,265 yards, 1965, 1218, 67, 14, 34, 68, 1297. He averaged almost 23 yards of reception. Imagine that. I mean,
yeah.
Jets averaging a couple of yards a play on Sunday. He had 23 per catch. So a Hall of Famer, a legend. Rest in peace, 86 years old.